with Henry never would have had a home. Henry would have ended up euthanized because there was no possible way anybody could afford to pay that kind of money, and nobody would in their right mind actually pay $5,500 to keep an animal alive. But the lady who sponsors him out of New York City is very passionate about kittens and cats, and so she asked me to agree to keep Henry homed and that she would pay for all of his vetting and necessaries for the rest of his life. But what I did was I said, no, you don't pay for his necessaries, just when he needs the vet. And so he's integrated as part of the home. But if Henry, now there are some other cats here too, and like I said, I work with not only cats, I work with dogs, bunnies, ferrets, you name it. Any animal in Vanier that needs to be vetted or altered or has an emergency can come to me for a one-time free vetting. I'll raise all of the funds. When I go nonprofit, what we'll be doing is we'll be using sustainability with a storefront to create money to pay the people so that 100% of our animal donations go for vetting only. So I'm actually doing this as proof of concept for Corporations Canada. What's happening outside my own door, though, is these are cats that are abandoned by people that they were owned, right? And they end up either, well, nobody in the world can live with a unfixed male. The smell would drive you nuts when they become mature. So usually what happens is they open the door. An unfixed female, by the time she's 6 months old, is making so much noise that nobody can stand it. And on top of that, females will puddle and make little to attract mates, right? So if in Ontario, with the way the vetting fees are, it's just impossible. But most people act the same way. If you get an animal vetted, generally you don't. It's just like humans. After we have our shots, do we go back to the doctor unless we need them? No, we don't. So that gives you an overview of the program. The house itself is being used as an example. Lisa knows all this, so that's why I'm going over it quickly so you understand, because you have to explain to the team that stands behind you. So we'll take a run down to the basement so I can give you an overview. Please excuse the mess. See, I also have to get contractors too to do this stuff as well, but that's something I have to pay for. Anyway, when we come down here, what is going to happen down here eventually is part of the shelter system that I'm creating outside is because this room where my cats now go outside, excuse the smell, it's because this all needs to be cleaned. This particular part of the shelter system, what we want to do is that we just want basically a cleanable area with a removable front, because eventually this is going to become our hospice room. We have a young man who wants to build cat furniture to raise money for the project. Okay. So this room will be used. Oh, no, we're not hiding Lisa behind the door. Anyways, so this access, this shelter, like I said, it's a secondary shelter right now. My cats are using it, but when it transitions, what's going to happen is my cats are no longer going to be coming into the basement, because the entire basement is going to be strictly for the project cats. Okay. And the project cats that have to be TNR'd will be hospiced in this room. It will give them an area to exit the house so that they can go in and out without getting away, because I don't want them to get away, especially if I get them altered and as they're socialized and I can get them a home. Then we'll keep them until we home them. But, and then what happens here, because I also, if you'll see, like, we're starting to collect crates, live traps, etc. The project is also going to be housing, and my house is only going to reflect a portion of it. It's just basically to get the storefront. But this whole area is animal food bank, because I already run a courtesy food bank. I just don't keep enough moving food in the house. The donations go out as fast as I get them. So we help low and fixed income people, but at the same time we've also helped people who just basically, it's not that they're low or they're fixed income, they just got stuck because their visa bill was too high and they couldn't afford to pay. So this whole area transitions. We're building a workshop here. This is a nightmare. I don't want to make, don't videotape this, but in through here we have, sorry, my laundry, we have a cold storage room where I've got, actually, the furnace has been changed out, and this area here is also going to be part of the project. This room is going to be insulated.
You can get on audio, but don't get video. Laundry room, apparently.
So what we're going to do is this.
Well, nobody wants their dirty laundry aired on the internet. I'm just hoping I picked up her voice at least.
That's not what we're asking you to do. I'm just trying to give you an overview of the project so that you understand how it all transitions eventually. So now we go outside, and now this is where I get you to understand how we're connecting the dots. Lisa's listened to me rattle so many times that she's used to it. There's actually, this is the cat that's sick right now, Teddy. She's the one that needs a $600 operation.
Hi, baby.
Kitty.
Oh, they're so cute.
There's Splash. There's Splash. So, the actual project that we're asking you guys to become involved in, I'll let all you guys out because I can't let my cats out. They do, it's a horrible
Where did Flash
situation.
go? Flash ran away.
Now, up here, what we'd like to do with this is we would like to frame and screen it in, okay? Because what we're trying to do is create, in the summertime, a safe place for, like, Albie and Flash. We've got to find a gate or an appropriate thing here, too. But when things close off, eventually, this area will be where my cats access the outdoors, but any of the cats, like Albie and Flash, that we hope to keep, actually. We can't find Albie and Flash a home. They're not going anywhere. I'm sorry, these two are bonded. And I had a rescue offer to step out to take Flash the kitten, but they wouldn't take his bonded mate Albie. And Albie and Flash have been keeping each other warm, and Albie's been looking after. Flash showed up here at the beginning of June. He's only about 4 months old. He showed up when he was like 5 or 6 weeks. Yeah, he's the only surviving cat out of about 6 litters that have been born this summer. Then none of them survived. So this is the shelter that we set on fire. This is one of the most integral parts of the project.
It's okay, baby.
Because this shelter, actually, I have a pregnant mother right now who's been using this shelter. But this shelter, in particular, is one that is going to be of the most help to the project because I'm not a rescue. When I go nonprofit, my idea is I want to help the cats that are here that are coming to my house, okay? And to show the community that I can do this without having a mess like this is to clean it up, make it look nice so that it's hidden. Because we started on the garden, but we're not done yet. Obviously, in the spring we'll get back to that. But this shelter needs to be properly waterproof, vapor barriered. It needs walls that are easy to clean, not wood, because one of the things that's really dangerous to cats is moisture. It causes upper respiratory infections. And so, actually, shelters like to be able to use. Cats prefer blankets, and like if you look up all the information online about cats, and it's true, a lot of the shelters that they build, they use straw and they use the foam, right? But I'm dealing with domesticated cats who won't go near straw or foam. They want to be on a blanket. But what I want to do with this shelter, because I am horrible. I am horrible at trapping cats. I am not a good rescue person. That's why I'm trying to make it so that animals don't need to be rescued. That's the concept of my project. Is when you go to a rescue with a cat that's injured, what happens is you have to surrender your animal totally, and you cannot adopt your own animal back. It's a conflict of interest. I'm a law clerk by trade. It's a conflict of interest. So what happens is people end up they surrender their animals to a rescue, but a lot of the times the rescues don't want to take them anyway because it costs them money, right? So to avoid having to go to rescue, if I can help a person who's lower fixed income, who is giving a cat a good home, and I mean, come on, they don't have to eat food that's the top of the heap to be well fed, have toys and somebody who loves them. This shelter, what I want to do with this is create a place. I want to put in low temperature radiant heating, so that on minus 30 days I can actually turn on some heat. Because what I'm doing now is I'm soliciting, but I also talk to my boyfriend or whatever. He does heating and air conditioning, and he told me there might be a possible way if you guys do the deck this way. He is thinking that he could put in an entire radiant floor on top, and that radiant floor might actually transfer heat down into the undersection. But first we have to figure out what we can do. Anyways, this one needs to be completely, like I said, vapor barriered, insulated. I need to heat it. I have ways of putting crates into it, but this needs to have a special door made too, where I want to make this like a drop trap door, so that the cats that I can't catch, I can catch using the cat shelter, right? And then, like I said, with this one here, this, like these ones, like this one's deeper than this one is. This house is what you would call an add-on. They started building this house in 1954. It was a two-story house. Or actually it was two stories down here. This was the first story down here. They built up the yard, right? And just ruining the house. I actually have intentions, if I can make the nonprofit work, to hopefully maybe buy this house so that we can continue to use it for the project until we can find a place where we can actually get low rent from the community. Because once we do this in the summertime, with you guys, if you guys can do this for us, we're going to be having a huge garden party that is going to be inviting all of the local business. I sit on every committee in Vanier, but we're going to invite the local Vanier BIA and whatnot to come and see what I've done with my own home and try and get them to offer us a location that we can pay a lower rent that's good to live. But this shelter, like I said, I need to build something so that, and it's like, the problem is too, okay, summertime, winter time. In the summertime, of course, we don't want to have something that's, you know, blocked off and keeping it hot as hell in here. We need to be able to change the door. But like I said, I want to create something so that if I have the animals and I know they're in there, that I can actually just come out here and like drop the trap, catch the animal, stick a crate in, or climb in myself and get the animal out. Because what I do is I take them for a chip check. If they have no chip or any owner, then I get them an FELV, FIV test to make sure that they're clear. And if I can't get them rescued, then I have to go OHS. Because even if they end up dead, it's better than living out here like this for, like, if you saw the cat that's on the Vanier Street Cats page, the one in the orange one, he died about 3 weeks ago, and he just, like, I tried to catch him for years. If I had something like this years ago, I might have had a chance of saving his life, but I couldn't because I couldn't catch him. He's a motor, I got pictures of him, like, I've got it, been trying to get them off. I've got pictures of him and Albie sitting up on the motorcycle on top of the cover. But anyways, right now the project entails basically framing in, screening, but then for upstairs what we really need, and like I said, I'm a free cyclist too, we want to use the concept of sustainability, because Used Ottawa is also my partner for Ottawa's really free market. This is what I'm saying. This could translate into more advertising and work for you and your company, because we have been trying to find a way, Lisa and I, so that we don't have to rain date, because we have an outdoor location for the free market, to put up a tent top.
Well, let's get back to the porch.
Back to the porch. So, anyways, if we can frame this in, what we need to do is we want to make big, like, frames that fit into the deck, so that I can use plastic like this, and these are just bed covers, okay, you know, mattress covers. So we need like a frame that comes apart if it gets damaged, so that, you know what I mean, if we build it, we make the windows out of it. And like I said, this is where I need the idea guy. That's why I'm just telling you my ideas, and whether they're good or not is another thing, because I know you're going to have to go back to your team and do a little calculating and figuring it out. Worked with contractors for years, but because of the way the deck is made, I'm thinking that the ideal situation is to actually create, like, if we can screen in, like I said, the portion, the reason we're talking about screening into is because our animals have been poisoned up here, and we found out that the access to the deck, when how they've been doing it, is through drip, because our motion light is broken. So part of it too, like I said, is when we get to the point where it transitions, where we have, the point is not to keep animals living here, it's to get them help and get them out of here so that they can go somewhere, either get a home, get them back to their owner, if they're lost,